Hello everyone and welcome back to a unit comparison, and today we're looking at Commonwealth, which is a new faction for us. We're starting over in their Infantry tab, and Commonwealth has a lot of options, but we have a new expert player with us here to talk us through some of those options, namely Diggers 90, Fusiliers 90, and Canadian Rifles 85, sort of your cheaper, not necessarily spam because you do have Territorials and Militia for that, but certainly your cheaper infantry options. So Quicksilver, you want to say hello, introduce yourself, and tell us what we need to know about these units?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you got three schools of thought when it comes to your line infantry. Do you want it to be good for Commonwealth? That is. Do you want it to be good against vehicles, or do you want it to be good against infantry, or do you want it to have a really good transport? So, that's the question you got to ask yourself when you're choosing what infantry card you want. I personally run Fusiliers 90 because, as you can see, the AT rocket on it is absolutely brutal.
20 rounds a minute, 22 AP power, and I mean, a lot of options here too. I certainly do want to ask you about some of the vehicle options, but we have them selected right now on just the 5-pointer. Is there a reason for that, or is it just, sort of whimsical there?
So yeah, in terms of 5-pointers, the Diggers 90 are definitely the best. The Digger 90 are very much like your best for grinding other line infantry. They got the best primary and they got the mini-me. And they also get the best 5-point transport.
So, for those of you who don't know, who are newer to the game, the mini-me is the tertiary weapon on the Diggers 90, and it's, I think, one of, if not the highest DPS for infantry in the game. Competitive with the MG3
beats it out.
Yeah,
I think.
Anyway, so that's sort of what he's talking about here is, if your secondary doesn't matter, if your armor piercing doesn't matter, then the Diggers will be slightly more cost effective than the Fusiliers 90, who have the L86 LMG. But their 5-pointer has 2 guns, while the Fusiliers 90 5-pointer only has 1. So, moving on from that point, what makes Fusiliers 90 sort of your favorite, in addition to the Law 80 anti-tank option?
So, the 15 points for absolutely insane AT, plus you can, there's a lot of flexibility with them. You can take them in all variants of the warrior. The Canadian Rifles, I will admit, their TH415 vehicle is really good. But if you want a bit of punch, you can use the warrior, and you get the Milans with it as well, which Milans are notoriously bad at missing, but with 24 AP, sometimes all you need is one hit.
And it does look like, I mean, if you're paying for the TH495, 20 points there for 3 frontal armor, 25 points gets you up to 6 frontal armor and a Milan F2, which is, 24 AP power, 45% accuracy. I've actually seen people stack quad stacks of these, and it's kind of hilarious when they hit. But I don't know if that's a good strategy.
Oh no, absolutely, it can be absolutely brutal. You never really want to engage with only one Milan at a time. Milans are best used en masse to counteract their bad accuracy.
So I have a question for you then. If we said Fusiliers in boxes, and if we're looking at sort of our infantry tab here, outside of motorized and mechanized, we have 5 options. So do you have enough space to take 2 Fusiliers 90, or are there other things that are sort of necessary in the tab where you have to sort of decide if you want the 5-point boxes or if you want something fighting capable like one of the warriors?
Generally, everyone playing Commonwealth should take a card of Territorials, and I think that really can supplement your line, your line infantry spam. And then you can take a card of Fusilier 90s and a warrior to act as both fighter support and extra line infantry.
And it sounded like the 25-point warrior Milan was your favorite, just high end but high performance.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're gonna buy a warrior, you might as well buy the best, right?
Now, do you up or down vet these usually?
Depends on the deck I play. If I'm playing mech, I will up vet them because you have infinite amount of slots for infantry. But if it's unspec, I would probably not up vet them.
Gotcha, that makes sense. Just take a couple more, and I mean they're a pretty expensive card at 40 per. But it looks like you get a fair amount of value for that. Like, I really don't want 22 AP at 20 RPM going at anything that I own. And I think the accuracy shouldn't be overlooked either. Like, that's a really good launcher.
60% accurate.
Yeah.
The only downside to it is it's a 700 meter range, which is still not as bad as some, but...
Yeah, it does also make you wonder, like, comparisons to things like the Red Ford Proletary 90 that have just higher AP at the same RPM. But
And
that's on
also max range for launchers as well. They got the 875.
yeah, but I guess there's a bigger price tag with that here too, but I don't know. So that's sort of your line infantry options. It looks like Fusiliers 90 is a clear favorite, and the sort of territorials, Fusiliers 90 and Warriors, of whichever one, whichever style and flavor suits your particular playstyle is the recommendation. So, thank you Quicksilver for that. We'll be back here again tomorrow, guys, with more Commonwealth.